Welcome back to Gemstones Podcast. This is LP. I have Shy and Zack with me today. We're excited about today's podcast. Before we get started, please make sure you go like, share, and subscribe to our podcast on all platforms. We are on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Pandora Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts, and Spotify Anchor. If you would like to send us questions, please send us questions at gemstonepodcast@gmail.com. That is gemstonepodcast@gmail.com. All right, Sha, take it away.
Hey y'all, so thank you for tuning in to another episode. So I wanted to come on today with a really kind of lighthearted conversation today. So is it bird behavior or are women being liberated? So my topic today is about Cardi B and her, and Cardi B and the culture that she has helped emerge. Should we bring back shame? Now, I am not shaming her at all. I am all for my body, my choice. It's a sexual liberation, the right to choose, the right to decide, you know, what you want to do with your life. I'm all for women's rights and women's health. As far as what they would like to do. So that's not what I'm saying. But to me, we're in a culture where we're idolizing the new woman. New woman being, I remember at a time growing up, female rappers that I grew up on, some of them, yes, some of them were ratchet, some of them, but it was a difference in the ratchetness. I grew up a 90s baby, a millennium. When I was a kid in elementary and middle school, we had Trina, the queen of the South, the undisputed queen of the South. We just gonna keep it 100. Undisputed queen of the South is Trina. We had Trina. Little Kim was kind of on her way out when I was coming up. We had Eve. We had Jackie O. Who else do we have? Even Lil Mama. Lil Mama had a nice run. Missy Elliott. So those were the female artists I grew up on in elementary and middle school. Now, while Trina, her raps were gaudy, they were raunchy, they were, get the money, he a trick, them kind of raps. But it was a sense of classy 304, if you will. There's a difference between the rap female culture that we're seeing now. Trina was nasty, raunchy, but it was a sophisticated nasty, raunchy. The Diamond Princess. You know what I'm saying? This nasty, raunchy version of female rap that we see today is not what we grew up on, and I just can't get with it, to be honest. Then, of course, when I got to with eighth and ninth grade, I discovered Nicki Minaj. So I kind of discovered Nicki Minaj before she blew down here, because I always been into East Coast rap. So I used to be on YouTube back in the day and stuff. And I remember like probably around like maybe '07, she had, she was popping in the tri-state area and like Atlanta and stuff, but I never really heard nobody listen to her where I was from, where I am from. So when I discovered her on YouTube, I was like, okay, okay, it's something different. It was very bold. It was very I'm that girl, you know what I'm saying? A lot of her music was popping her ish. So I liked it that so I started to begin to follow her music, and then when she kind of took off like about 2 or 3 years later. Like I said, not around 2010 is when she really truly emerged mainstream. She became the Don Dada in my opinion. Like because for one, a lot of female rappers get this notion that they're not lyrical. Because if we're being honest, and there's no shade to Lil Kim or anybody, or even Charlie Baltimore. I always like the Charlie Baltimore. But it's like once they were no longer attached to a male rapper, it's like the music quality declined. Kind of the same thing we're seeing with Cardi B. On her first album, Invasion of Privacy, almost majority of her songs had Partisan Fontaine's pin game on there. Not to say she don't write nothing, but I mean she's definitely not 100%, writing her music. And a lot of people don't 100% write their music. We know that. That's not even no problem to me. But you can tell the difference between when Partisan Fontaine and some of the other producers was pen game was on her stuff. Even Little Yachty, his pen game is on a lot of City Girls music, as well as Sar Santana. Sar Santana is a gay male rapper, but he has a vicious pen game. So a lot of those quick little catchy phrases that you hear from female rappers, that's Santana's pen game. So I mean, you can kind of tell now with her new music that that magic that was from those producers from her last album, which was 8 years ago, it's not there no more. Now I wonder why it's not there. Maybe I don't know what they say the budget not there no more. The economy has changed. A lot of these record labels are not willing to spend millions and millions and millions and millions and millions on projects no more. So maybe that's the reason. But something's a little bit different with the pen game. So yeah, so like I said, growing up, we had female rappers that was given class at 304, not raunchy gutter, baby mama drama 304. So anyway, so yeah, so this new rap is being emerged. Now, what I will say about Cardi B did bring in a new era of female rap. She brought in an era where a female rapper could be, like I said, ghetto. No shade to the ghetto mamas. Ghetto, less attractive. No shade, but if you put Cardi B in the lineup with Lotto, Nicki Minaj, Doll, who else we gonna name? Who else? If you put her in the lineup with all of them, we know who coming at the bottom. When it comes to the look, we know who coming at the bottom. You put her in the lineup with Remy Ma. You put Cardi B, Remy Ma, Akbar, Trina, Nicki in the lineup. We know Cardi B is coming at the end of the line. Not to say she's unattractive, she's just a little less attractive. So I feel like even though she ushered in this new era of female rappers not having to have sophistication, being able to be ratchet and being able to be hood mamas, where they upbringing. She from the Bronx. So she brung in that era, which is good. It's a blessing and a curse. Also being less attractive because I feel like prior to her, most female rappers were attractive. Eve is pretty, Trina's pretty, Nicki Minaj is pretty, the old little Kim was pretty, Jackie O is pretty. Like all female rappers were pretty and they all were natural at one point in time. But now it's like she ushered in a new wave of female artists that you don't have to be attractive, you don't have to be classy, you don't even have to have nice teeth. Like she ushered in a new wave, which is good because the everyday girl that is talented might not be as attractive. So I feel like that's a blessing and a curse because in one sense, you can be all of these things as well as be ignorant. You can be all of these things and you can still make it. So she ushered in a new wave for the everyday around the way girl to come up, which is a good thing. The image that I feel like she's portraying, and it's not just about her, it's just an overall collective. The image that she is portraying to young women and to young girls and this drama filled stuff, that is the problem. All right. So, make a long story short, so I discovered Cardi B from Love and Hip Hop. I never knew who she was online. I know she had a social media presence prior to. I discovered her on Love and Hip Hop. I thought she was funny, but I didn't. I thought she was funny, but she was, hood. And her media behavior is kind of what made her media behavior and her personal line is what made her marketable to Love and Hip Hop. She already had like a million followers by the time she loved hip hop. And, she was a stripper. She's from New York. She's Dominican. She's from the Bronx. She had a gaudy, entertaining presence online. So that's what made her, on Love and Hip Hop. So once she got on Love and Hip Hop, prior to her being on the show, she had a lot of drama going on. She was always arguing with women online, men and women online. She was always into some kind of mess. So that made her the perfect candidate for Love Hip Hop. Number two, she has been always into some mess involving black women. So that was another thing that was a red flag to me early on because Cardi B is Dominican. I might be ethnicity wise, she is African descent, right? But socially wise, I think I'm getting it mixed up. Ethnicity wise, she has African descent. Most Dominican people have African descent. But culturally, she's Spanish. So there's a difference there. She did not grow up in a black household. So when she started to get online and go back and forth with black women calling them monkeys and calling them other racial names, that was a red flag to me early on. Because I'm like, you have the black woman aesthetic, but the first thing come out your mouth is a monkey. When you look like a monkey, if we being honest. But anyway. So then she got on Love and Hip Hop, and she popped on there. Like I said, she was funny on there. It was cool. So after that, she ended up popping with this beat, and to me, I feel like she became somewhat of an industry plant because it does date back to Nicki Minaj because Nicki Minaj ran the industry for a good close to 10 years. So there was a need for a new and fresh talent. Excuse me. There was a need for new and fresh talent, but I do feel like her push was not organic. So after that, of course, other things started to come out about her as far as like abusive towards men, videos about her saying when she was a stripper, she used to go home with men and they would they would date rape the men, they would rob them. And then she even talked about how when she did it, she would bring along one of her friends that was transgendered. And so if the man was to wake up, if he was to catch her on the block or whatever, she was telling, well, I'm gonna tell everybody you was in a hotel with a tranny. Like she said that numerous of times. So this is what she would do. And so when that came up about her, that was another thing that I felt like she had an opportunity to correct it and say, hey, that was me in a past life, and Me Too movement, but she didn't do that, And like I said, her comments toward Black women, and even recently, and this is not a bad Cardi B session. I am getting to somewhere with this, me bringing these facts about, just her come up wise. Even recently, she had put it out that she was selling merchandise. Her merchandise ranged from size small to a 3X. All of her 3X clothes and 2X clothes sold out within an hour. We're talking about merchandise that's 30, 40, $50 a piece. That sold out within like an hour or so. She gets online, she's on live, and somebody said, all your 3X clothes is gone. She said, all my 3X clothes are gone. All my 3X clothes. I didn't know I had fat fans. And I'm just like, oh, not only are you anti-black, you're also fat phobic because why on God green earth would you, mind you, you call Lizzo a friend? You said Lizzo is your friend. Why would you get on here and say you didn't know you had fat fans? Like that was so ignorant. It really rubbed me. That really would rub me the wrong way to be like, nah, I don't like that. Also, when she said that she had fat fans, and she said, "Ooh, no Chick-fil-A for y'all." It was just so weird. And I remember last year when she had her last baby, like a year ago, somebody on she was arguing with somebody online, and they were basically talking about how she had a baby and she had got her body done like right afterwards. And they was like, you don't care about your body, like you just had a baby. Why would you go get your lipo or whatever she had done? And this woman said, I would rather die on a surgery table than look like you. Meaning, mind you, she's just not a big woman, so I'm sure she wasn't big after pregnancy. But she said, I would rather die on a surgery table than look like you. AKA, I would rather die on a surgery table from getting nipped and tucked than even be close to being one of my fat fans, which was very weird to me. Now, like you have to watch what you put in the atmosphere. You have to watch what you speak with your tongue because to say you would rather die on a surgery table than to look like you when you didn't had about 7, 8 surgeries, watch what you say. Watch what you put out into the world. You gotta watch. The tongue is powerful. You gotta watch what you say. So she said that. So that was really like really just turned me off from her. All right. So she's a global name now. Not saying all this backstory just to say, me, she ushered in this bird behavior female rapper. Not to mention the city girls, but the city girls are a little different because that's Miami culture. They Trina's daughters. Like they come from Trina, Jackie O, Trick Daddy, Uncle Luke. They come from that lineage. So theirs is a little different. But this bird behavior that she exhibits, this ghetto-ness, this online all day, is making racial comments, this hood booger stuff. I feel like I'm not gonna mention nobody else, but there's a couple other female rappers that have came out since Cardi B, and they're taking on that same aesthetic, but they are getting mimicked and they are getting mocked because they're black women. Even though ethnically wise, Cardi B is African descent, but racially wise, Cardi B is a Spanish woman. And she's a Spanish woman that is benefiting from black women culture, but black project ghetto culture. She benefits from that, but the female artists that have came after her, they are not benefiting the same way off of their own culture, off of their own. These black women have emerged from her that are actually black racially, geographically, they're not benefiting the same way she does. So lastly, okay, so she's a household name now, Grammy Award winning. She's a big deal. She did her big one. She did her thing. She marries Offset. We know that. At the time when she married Offset, Offset was in the biggest group in the world at the time, which was the Migos. They were the biggest group. So I feel like Offset, her and Offset, they both helped each other out because she was emerging and he was already hot. But also she had a big machine behind her, probably a bigger budget wise behind her than he did. So they both helped each other out. So now they marriage and fell apart. And now she's pregnant for Stephon Diggs. That is my next point. I feel like, okay, you're a married woman. Men do this all the time. We know that men get other women pregnant while they still married. We get that. But I feel like for her platform, for her representation, for all the young girls that look up to her and admire her, I feel like if you're gonna be pregnant for another man that ain't your husband, keep it to your damn self. Don't get on social media and get in Gayle King's face and tell Gayle King that Stephon healed you. The same man that had two babies this year that don't belong to you. You his third baby mama up for the year. You should not be promoting that. I'm all for you having as many kids as you want to have. You can have 10 and 12 kids, but you don't have to run around and be pregnant and shaking your ass, have your ass out. You're looking like a basketball in each cheek and a basketball in the belly. Just, it looked ridiculous. It looked like men genitalia. That's what it looked like. You can be pregnant for your man, your boyfriend, and still have a husband all you want to, but we
Excuse me,
don't
Shaw. I
need
didn't mean
to.
to interrupt you right now, but did you just say she looked like a man's genitalia, dog?
Yes, she looked like the two basketballs in the shaft. That's what
I'm
it looked
so
like.
done
It
with you,
hangs,
Shaw. I'm so done with you, dog.
and it
I'm
hangs.
so done.
It looks awful. It looks awful. But not to even mention, here's another thing I didn't like. Just for her impact, when they were on the boat and they were passing around that pink powder, which pink powder is what you think is cocaine and something else, but it's pink. They dye it to make it pink, but it's a cocaine drug basically. I'm like, all of this is just not good. You know what I'm saying? But I think she only gets away with it because she's racially Dominican. So yeah, so you pregnant for him, which is it's cool. You can do what the hell you want to do. But why we got to know about it? Why can't you live your life and be pregnant for whoever you want to be pregnant for and divorce your husband, all that stuff? But why we got to know about it? Why we got to know about it? Because honestly, Offset hasn't posted up with any women I've seen since he's been married to her. And the reason why he ain't did that because he gonna take you to the cleaners. He gonna take you to the cleaners. This man getting ready to get some of your money when y'all get this divorce from. And that's why he been a little quiet because he getting ready to take you to the cleaners. His net worth and his social capital has significantly declined in the last few years, and yours has significantly rose. Y'all net worths, I mean, your income is like triple of his income. He's getting ready to clean up shop with your money. So that's why I think, why couldn't you have kept this to yourself? Yes, I'm pregnant. Yes, I'm happy, and that's it. That's it. We ain't got to know all this drama. We ain't got to, we don't got to do all that. So yeah, so those are things I just don't like. I feel like kids do not need, even though celebrities are not responsible for our children, but kids do not need to see this. We don't not need to know every single detail of your personal life regarding you and what you do. And it should not be on mainstream TV. It should not be on mainstream radio. We should not be promoting a married woman being pregnant for a man that had two babies this year that don't belong to her. We should not be promoting this kind of culture. We should not be arguing online and being transphobic and being homophobic and talking about Lil Uzi. Lil Uzi ain't do you nothing. Lil Uzi want to wear a purse. That Lil Uzi business. He ain't do you nothing. You steady show your transphobia, your anti-blackness, your homophobia. You steady and your fat phobia. You steady show who you are. So I feel like clean it up. Clean it up. Clean it up. Stop this ghetto-ness. Stop this bird behavior. I do not feel like we are being liberated by us being able to perform, be performative, and be monkeys, because that's what you call black women, right? I remember when you was on Love and Hip Hop and that you was messing with that DJ on there. He had a girlfriend that lived in London. The girlfriend came down to the show and you and your sister jumped her and y'all called her a monkey. Yeah, I remember that too. So this monkey behavior that you've displayed over the years, clean this up. Like, I just feel like if I had a teenage daughter, we're turning you off. A couple of y'all we turn them, but we, especially you, you're getting muted. I will literally go in her settings and block you from Google searches. You're getting muted because enough is enough. Enough is enough, and I just don't like this culture. We can be liberated in different ways. I know it's what you said, my body, my choice, my body, my choice. Yes, it's your body, your choice, but shut up about it. We ain't got to know that you married and got a baby from somebody else. We don't have to know your business like that. Keep your damn mouth closed about this bird business. Keep your mouth closed about it.
Well, that was a monologue for sure. But you talked about bird behavior and you talked about this women being liberated. I think we've had this conversation before, around this topic. Not per se this artist Cardi B, but we've talked about, the new generation woman plenty of times on our podcast. We've also talked about the way society has depicted these behaviors. That's what I say. Has depicted these behaviors and they have supported these behaviors as well. And it is not just Hispanic women or Black women. I don't really see it really happening in the Caucasian demographic. But when it comes to all others, I do see it being, pushed or highlighted or glorified significantly. Even when I think about these podcasts that talk about relationships, these podcasts that talk about men and women in marriages or uh parents, fathers, baby daddies, house mothers, queen of the children. It's always minorities that's being highlighted in these conversations. It's never the Caucasian race that's really being talked about. Although they have the same issues we have in their community, but it's kept tight lip. When you talk about the situation with Cardi B, man, I think it's honestly, and it's sad because I haven't, you can go on YouTube because she went on Breakfast Club, right? She did an interview. She talked about, yeah, she's pregnant in this pregnancy. And she's not even fully divorced yet. The divorce papers haven't even been signed. And so many women and individuals were in the comments giving her praise, talking about some living your truth, living your feminine area. Just live, live, live. And I think it's sad because this is something that we should not glorify, like you said. She's married, right? Correct. She's still married. And that's something that you have made a covenant under, God or whatever religious belief you believe in. But that marriage is still protected and sacred under that. You should not be operating in these facets or in these principles until you are fully divorced. Not to say that who she was formerly married to, I think his name is he was out of Migos, Offset, is right, because I mean he operated in a lot of infidelity, which is the reason why they got a divorce. But it was also reported that while she was pregnant with their last child, she was already operating in hypersexual behavior with her now child father. That's like what? And that's being glorified. So it just goes back to what we've said plenty of times on this podcast when we talk about relationships with women, or just the perception of society, how society has created this lane of disrespect and supported this disrespect and has glorified this disrespect surrounding women and their counterparts. Wow, if it was is not glorified by the opposite gender of sex, which is male. You know what I'm saying? And then they talk about, how you said something about how she was saying something about Lil Uzi. I didn't know she said anything about Lil Uzi. I think that's the one, the City Girl's boyfriend or significant other. That's unfortunate that she took that route too, to talk about him like that. But I hope that old girl from City Girls, make a diss track, because she can rap. I think it's not the Miami girl. I think it's the other one, the darker skin one. I think her name is JT, if I'm not mistaken. But she can rap, and so I would like to see her get on the track and come back. Go ahead, shoot your shots back. But I think it's unfortunate that we have, quote unquote female rapper being glorified in the way she's being glorified. Walking around here. She's had so many surgeries to her body. She's not, and these young ladies and these little girls are looking at that. I don't really care for Megan Thee Stallion too much, but one thing I can say is that she got on a fitness journey. She started eating right, you know what I'm saying, working out. And she was showing that, hey, you don't have to go get surgery. You can go to the gym. You can slim down. You can tone up. Although her message is out of pocket too, because she added her sometimes.
But Megan also be quiet about it. She don't get online and glorify. Like you don't even know her business unless it come out. Like
Exactly.
she quiet.
Exactly. I was gonna say that next. She's not, boisterous with her hypersexual behavior. I mean, we saw speculation that she got hypersexual behavior. While this individual speaks about her hypersexual behavior so freely. And honestly, I get it. She hurt. You know what I'm saying? She's talking about she happy. She not happy. You can't be this happy and move the way you're moving. You're still trying to hurt somebody else because you're mad they hurt you. If you were truly happy, what they had to say, any comments they say, anything they do, it wouldn't move you, it wouldn't sway you because you're healed from the situation. She's still not. This is why she's moving the way she's moving. And I'm gonna close by saying this, and Zach, you can take it away. How you get him is how you lose him. That comes with integrity and that comes with sustainability. If you got into a relationship by deceit, infidelity, and manipulation, it's a likelihood that that's the same behavior that's going to destroy the relationship. So if you are married, pregnant, and you are having sexual intercourse with someone, and now you're pregnant again, how you get him is how you lose. It's a big chance that how he got you and how you got him is the same way you're gonna lose him. He gonna do the same thing, but just not with you this time. The seeds you plant is the fruit you eat. And she's planting these seeds. And I get it, everyone say, oh no, she's just authentic. She just, she just her. No, we can't glorify ignorance. Glorifying ignorance is really our downfall as people in this society. And I really hate that that's the narrative that's being pushed. I really hate that that's what these little boys, little girls are looking to. And this is their role models because this is what they look to as role models. You know, Charleston White is, he's a media influencer, but the man ain't crazy. He ain't stupid. He ain't slow. Now he be saying some out of pocket stuff because he's crazy. But I think sometimes when he does speak, it goes over a lot of our heads because he says these babies are glorifying. When he says babies, he's talking about these preteens, teenagers, and these children, not kids, but these children are glorifying these characters. Cardi B is a character. Her real name is not Cardi B. That's a stage name. And they glorify these characters. And so when you glorify the character, you glorify the behavior. And that's sad because we don't know. She might be depressed, crying herself to sleep every night, taking 1,000 pills on drugs. We don't know what she's doing behind the scenes because it's tight-lipped. And she has a great look. She got a pretty decent media team that keep her business like that, really tight-lipped. Now, when they come to her promiscuism, they let it out. They don't mind. She posts pictures half naked all the time. But I just think it's pretty sad. And so you asked the question, was it bird behavior? It's definitely bird brain behavior. And unfortunately, birds are highly glorified in this day and age.
And before we get to that, I wanted to also add. I know a lot of people say, "Well, Offset did us. He was cheating first," but we supposed to be better than men. Even if you was gonna do what you do, like move on, get you a new baby and stuff, we supposed to be better than men. Like, we as women, we're supposed to be not better, like as in like, but yeah, like better than men. Like we're not supposed to we're not supposed to move and behave in the way men do. That's why God made us women.
But Shy, in history, historical behavior, historical artifacts, historical literature, men have always fell short or have had the declaration of falling short of infidelity. Even when you think about David, he fell short of, and he was a great king in the Bible. He fell short. Solomon, he fell short. A lot of it's been documented in the course of history that men fall short at times due to lust, not being able to have that discipline and say no to lust. And they make poor decisions or they lack discipline with their sexual behaviors. Therefore, it leads to, other detrimental downfalls later on. So, but that's been documented over the course of history. So how can we sit here and say he did it first, he did it first? No, that's the problem. This new society is this tit for tat. No, Big Mama them, they probably got their lick back, but we didn't know about it.
That's my point.
They were
That's
discreet.
my point.
They still operated like a woman, like a lady. This is not lady behavior. And
Bring
the
back
fact
shame.
and the fact that we are glorifying this is really sad. I mean, when I looked at them comments they was on the Breakfast Club and she had the interview and I was reading through the comments. I mean, I immediately read through the comments when she said, yeah, I'm pregnant again. And I was like, I thought you lying. I thought this was still married. And then I kind of caught up because I didn't really know what was happening. I didn't really know she was going through a divorce. And I thought the whole thing was Stefan Diggs, so it's fake news, but it was real. And I was like, oh wow. Are they
Oh, yeah,
don't
it's
he got
real.
somebody? Don't he got somebody else pregnant right now too?
He had 2 babies this year.
Make that make
This
sense.
is his 3rd
You
baby for the
leave
year.
you leave a marriage, right? Matter of fact, you ain't left the marriage. You still
You done better
married.
being by yourself.
Yeah, you still married. You ain't left the marriage yet. And you go have a child with somebody who had already created 2 other children in these displaced households already. But you are preparing to leave a marriage. You ain't gonna marry him because he ain't gonna marry you. If he was, he had more respect for you. He wouldn't have been busting you down while you were pregnant. I'm speaking from a man perspective who didn't operated in promiscuous behavior. So I wouldn't have treated you like that if I really respected you. But hey, what do we know? We don't know a lot.
Right. This is all speculation, but
I'm gonna come in saying I just sound a wee bit biased, a little bit of more just not liking Cardi B for the situation because I think we all know people or have known people that have been in relationships that have been married and then are fighting divorces. Divorces take longer than anything. And if you're waiting on another person to sign a paper so you can officially end your contract with them, doesn't have nothing to do with your marriage. You're legally separated, so you can legally do what the hell you want to. So the fact that she has been in a relationship with somebody else is fine. You're not together. You don't live in a house. You don't have nothing together. All you have is this thing that says y'all are still married because my other partner that I was with decided he doesn't want to sign the documents, but he wants to still keep us around and keep us married, or because he wants something more out of the relationship after the divorce that I'm not willing to get. So we sit here and fight in case courts. Like, come on, y'all. What are we talking about right now? Like, you can be legally separated. It is a thing. Now, if you're gonna say she's bird brain behavior because she's messing with some dude that got all these multiple women's, yeah, let's go with that. But let's not call her bird brain behavior because of her relationships with Offset and how that's going through. Secondly, the situation of what we talking about glorifying stuff. All these hoes, excuse me, all these females have been glorifying things like this for years, from Little Kim to Trina. Like, how you gonna say you don't want your kids to listen to Cardi B, but you gonna let her listen to Trina though? That's just as worse. And the reason why Cardi got so much love is because the way she acts. She act like a regular person. Like you talking to somebody, one of your friends or somebody off the street. She's easy to relate to. That's why she got so much traction and love because majority of the people that listen to her music is from the situation she in. Some trap, some hood, some project. Some of us from the suburbs that just like to listen to their shit, but they can relate to it because that's what they know. Somebody who's cool with their body. Like we say no body shaming, but yet we body shame her for getting surgery. That's her prerogative.
Can I jump in? Zeke?
Go ahead.
When you bring up the concept about going through a divorce and how it can be lengthy, you got a point there. You do got a point because there is a lot of legal ramification that is attached to it. And certain things have to get signed. Lawyers have to get involved. Assets got to get divided. Everybody got to agree, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It can get nasty. It can be easy. I get that. You got a good point there. I think my issue with it is I'm stuck on the behavior you had while you were pregnant. You know what I'm saying? I'm really stuck on that because that's like the ultimate disrespect to me. That's just my opinion.
It's the ultimate disrespect on both sides. She was going tit for tat.
Yeah. It's the
And
ultimate disrespect for me.
you can't I can't get involved in this woman relationship because she want to go tit for tat because her man been cheating on her this whole damn time. Multiple women on the road, and now she want to get her lick back.
Well, I'm not mad about, and maybe it's because we come from a different time. You know, and maybe that's why. 'Cause I'm not mad about the lick back. I'm mad about you chose to do it while you were carrying a seed. You know what I'm saying? See, this is me.
Nah, you can't be mad about. You
Nah,
can't say
what?
you're not mad about the lick back and you're mad how she did it.
Well, no. This is me. See, this is me. See, I believe that if someone's gonna partake in sex, that's a lot of spiritual interaction. That's a lot of that's a spiritual exchange. If I'm having sexual intercourse with somebody, I mean I'm releasing or I'm attaching their spirit to you. That's just how I see it. That's my perspective. So when I think about that, and I think about she's carrying this man's seed and chose to operate in that behavior. I don't rock with it because you violated not only your child, but you put your child at risk to be exposed to some spirits that may not even need to be attached to it, because we already come with a lineage of generational curses, already come with a lineage of generational spirits attached to our bloodline already. So why would you go into that aspect, lay down, and then expose your unborn child to some adverse spiritual interactions because you want to get your lick back? See, that's how I'm thinking. That's why I'm saying it's the ultimate disrespect. Okay, I got it. You know what I'm saying? A boy was on the road knocking him down. He was doing what he was doing. I get it. But as a mother, I expect you, and this is just me.
You
Like I'm saying,
expect more, expect better.
this is just my perspective. As a mother, I expect you to protect your seed at all possible causes, whether it be physically, spiritually, psychologically, mentally. That's what I expect. That did not take place. So that's why I say that's the ultimate disrespect. And it's being glorified, which really throws me for a loop. That's why I said that.
Let me hit you with Uno reverse real quick. How do you feel about the daddy that's been smashing all these women and yet bringing his seed back to you and impregnating you with all these different women in him?
I agree.
All that stuff is the same.
It's the
That's what I'm
same,
saying.
but I don't see nothing. Okay, so like I said, I don't see nothing wrong with her moving on and getting pregnant. I just don't feel like we should know about it. Like you can say, yes, I'm pregnant, yes, I'm happy, and that's it. You don't have to get online and because you insecure and you already know that you with a person that is not gonna work out with you. You know you made another mistake. But you don't have to get online and bash other people and do the most because you hurt. You pregnant for him, that's good. You rich, he rich. The baby gonna be good, just fine. But we don't gotta know about it. Like we don't have to know all these details that you keep telling us.
Then why they keep asking her?
Well, wait,
They
hold
wanna know.
on. See, I want to
They
answer your
want to
question.
know.
I want to answer your question though, Z, because you said what about him? You know, because he's bringing back all those, you know, those adverse spirits as well, because he's with all these women. You're right. I agree, but also I don't expect him to. And this, like I'm saying, this is my opinion. So what I'm about to say, I could get crucified for, but this is probably a lot of men think that don't really, you know, have the, I guess I would say, have the accountability that's needed, right? Because he's doing all that, right? But I expect that from him. I'm gonna be real with you. I expect that from him. I don't expect that from her.
That's an excuse, my brother, though.
No, it's not an excuse. I'm being real because you saying it's an excuse, but I expect that from when she met Offset, he was operating like this.
When he met her, she had her.
We don't know.
We
don't know that. No, we don't know that.
What she should have did was
she should have did. She
this how
said she
you
wasn't.
this how you liberate women in my body, my choice. You divorce the man and you get on live instead of get online and telling people, shut up, fat B, blah blah. You get online and say, I'm divorcing my husband because he ain't deserve me, because he ain't treat me right. I'm moving on. And you ladies, you don't have to stay with a man that don't deserve you. You don't have to. That's what you do. You don't do what you're doing now. And if you're gonna do what you're doing now, keep it to your damn self. We don't have to know.
She did say those things though.
No. See, but hold on.
Say how she cheated on him and she wanted to go out and be somebody that truly loved her and protected her. She feel like that's Stefan, even though Stefan do his own damn thing still.
She delusional. In the beginning,
95% of us are delusional.
In the beginning, She said she wasn't doing all. Now we ain't gonna talk about her stripping days because we know that was her origin. But she say when her and Offset was going through the courting process. Now she said she loved to go on the Breakfast Club until her business. It's on the Breakfast Club. She said when they were on the courting process that she said she was loyal. She didn't do nothing. And also her whole time married up until that reported point of her having intercourse while pregnant, she was faithful. So that's why if he was already operating like this before they got married, because he was, remember, he got caught cheating at one time. He had to come on stage, apologize, do all this stuff while she was performing. Blase, blase, blase. He already been doing that. He's been doing it. She accepted it. She said she should have never came back then if this was her stance, right?
She clearly, I'm gonna put this in her ear. I'm gonna cut you off, but she clearly didn't accept it. If this man had to go beg to get his wife back,
nah, they weren't married then.
Yeah, he was.
They was dating then. No, I'm talking about many years
That
ago.
wasn't no beg for her. That was a beg for us on social media, so we won't talk about it.
Exactly.
That's what the hell that was.
That was way back when he
That wasn't about he
And
begging for me
then-
back. No, go online
then
and
they
tell
We
me
got
about
moving
married.
the damn
shit.
goalpost, y'all.
No,
Moving
no,
the
and then
goalpost.
no. I'm just trying to paint the picture. I'm just trying to illustrate all the facts. That was way back when they were dating. He came on stage. Then they got married. Then he got caught cheating married that first time. Then he went online, like Sha said, did that apology. Love my wife, love my kids, blah, 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 blah. I think he bought her a car or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm wrong, Sha. I think he gifted the girl a car or something like that. Blase, blase, blase.
I don't remember, but all I know is that
It was a few times.
Do what you want to do, but shut up about it.
Then this last time, I guess it was like, you know what, I'm sick of this. You know what I'm saying? He ain't gonna change. Blase, blase, blase. But she said in that whole time, and she said, I never stepped out, I never cheated, I never did this. So what I'm saying is the historical behavior is he's expected to do that. We didn't see no real change in his behavior. Even when he was on doing his live streamings with his playing his video game, wasn't he putting the phone in his pocket and stuff when she was coming around? When wasn't they taking pictures and screenshots, circling it way back when on whatever the streaming thing is that they be having? So they was doing that. So now we come back fast forward to this time, and we're like, oh,
but that's what happened when you get with somebody for clout.
Exactly. But that's what I'm saying.
When you marry somebody for clout and for fame and fortune, and you don't actually build a solid relationship with them, that's what happens.
My point is that too much of their business into the world anyway. So let's have some integrity on how we end this thing. And let's not have it so out in the open, because y'all paint a picture in these, like I said, these teenagers, these preteens, they looking at it and they watching it. That's not a model. That's not a good model to have. And like I keep saying, we don't see Caucasian people go through this live on the media. They try their best to do media takeout, whatever newsroom, but they got gag orders in place where it will not come out. But when it comes to our people and the minorities, it's all out there. And we keep saying, we got too many broken homes, which is displaced homes. We got too many broken homes. Caucasians do too, but guess what? It ain't being talked about. It's only our ethnicity is being talked about.
See, it ain't talked about because we ain't in those areas to know what they talking about.
Man,
we only know what's in our
They
areas,
have the same
bro.
issue. We had the same. They have the same issues we have.
Exactly. So like when who's Amazon man got divorced and his wife got all them billions, that was in the media, wasn't it?
But all we know is the settlement. We don't know nothing else.
We know he cheated. That's why they got divorced.
That was a speculation. It was never confirmed.
Oh man, get up out of here, bro.
No, I'm being for
speculation.
Man, no. All this is being confirmed because he didn't came out and said it.
I'm putting to you like this, but if it wasn't,
he ain't gonna lie and talk about it. We know that.
If it wasn't a speculation, it wouldn't have been out there, and she wouldn't have been out.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, he ain't do that.
I'm gonna end y'all's case right here on this, because if what you're trying to say, if it wouldn't be found out in public like that, okay, so why was he with another woman while he was going through divorce then?
He was, right?
He was. You explain that to me then, since it's so different.
But my question is that, was there any documents that was written, any tweets, any memes, any
I don't
posts?
follow the girl, so I can't tell you.
But no, because it wasn't. Because I'm pretty sure you got that much money, you gonna tell whoever you with, say something if you want to. I promise you won't have access to this empire.
She was gonna get it no matter what. It's infidelity, Phil.
I'm talking about whoever he was with at that time. But we gotta
understand.
What I'm talking about.
Stefan wasn't talking about
this fool need to be worried about catching footballs and getting in the end zone. He's in the locker room talking about Cardi B. And then here we go on ESPN He on here, oh, yeah, I heard that. Man, worry about you didn't get traded every damn year since you left the Bills. Let's lock in, because it don't seem like you locked in, my brother. You on the fair world
No,
too low key.
what he doing is he's securing his next fortune. You get with
Low key.
a celebrity with money that's not that smart, that has low self-esteem, and that also elevates his popularity because she's very, very popular. Now he's on the Shade Room. Now he's on all these different outlets every single day, things that he had not have access to. Now he's at the Rock Nation brunch. Now he's at the Grammys. He is elevating his social capital as well off of her back.
Look, this ain't Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift. This ain't what that is.
Yeah, but she's still gonna be at the Rock Nation brunch. She's still gonna be at the Grammys, and guess who's gonna be there?
But pay attention to what I just said. I said Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift. Travis Kelce was once dating an African American woman. If I'm not mistaken, she was just on stage with Chris Brown at the Breezy Bowl getting Take You Down dance, if I'm not mistaken. But that's neither here nor there. We don't really hear his business, and we don't hear him talking about Taylor Swift like that either. And he got his own podcast. He may say oh yeah, Taylor said that, and keep it moving. He should be focused on damn football, like I'm saying.
Bro, we heard that for a whole year straight.
He didn't, but Travis Kelce never talked about it. The NFL and the media talked about it. We never heard Travis Kelce talk about it. That's facts.
That's not facts, but we're gonna ride.
Man, now tell me when he talked about it.
He talked about it on his podcast. He talked about it in interviews. He has talked about it, but what are we talking about? But not
in detail. He don't get in details.
So are we worried about the details? We worried about the details.
The details matter.
Okay, so
we should not know as basic public people, we should not know that, oh, I'm getting a divorce. I've been hunching on him. I'm pregnant by him, and we should not know all your what? No, that's.
Let's add this to the equation. Taylor Swift is notorious for messing with somebody's man. She done it several times. But guess what? When she was sleeping with that married man, did she go on live and talk about it? No, she was hunching him in her real life. She didn't got to go on live and talk about it. That is the difference.
No, she just made a song about it.
Yeah, and guess what? She made money off of it. It's still like I said before. Rappers growing up, Trina, we knew she was talking about money and 304 behavior, but it was in the way she did it was better. Taylor Swift is talking about being on her songs, but guess what? It's the way that she's doing it. It's all about your approach.
I feel like we're giving excuses for certain people being and certain people not being. Like,
I'm
this is getting outrageous to me right now.
I'm gonna end saying this. And this last year of podcasting, I've been advocating because I want Black people to ascend beyond the society, the social capital narrative. And this don't ascend us at all. That's what I'm gonna say. The whole year of 2025, I've been advocating, I've been screaming, I've been pounding, I've been yelling because I want Black and brown folk, and really Black folk. I'm really, I gotta say everybody to be, politically correct, but really the Black people, because we are always at the bottom of the totem pole. I want us to extend beyond the social capital that's presented. Things like this do not extend us. They keep us where the hell we at. And that's a fact. I don't care about none of that, who did it first, how come it was done. No, it keeps us right where we are. Because guess what people are going to do? Oh, that's just what Black folk do. They ignorant. That's what they do. They distasteful. That's going to be the narrative because of things like this. We have to do better. And that's why I'm saying I wished and I had more expectation for Cardi B to do better than that. But then you say she calling people monkeys and this and this. Y'all need to be boycotting her damn album then, since she calling Black folk monkeys.
She get a pass for all her bull crap.
That's what y'all.
She get a pass for all of it. She gets a pass for it.
And I'm not trying to be counsel this woman or nothing like that. I'm just saying my whole mission of 2025 was to ensure that the social capital for Black people extended. So we have to start paying attention when people are capitalizing on us and calling us racial derogatory terms, but we still support them. That don't make no sense.
Yeah, dude.
No, it don't. No. Hold on. Let me give an analogy.
I don't support Cardi B or Donald Trump.
Hold on. Anime is great. All our Dragon Ball Z fans, we love them. We love Goku. Goku's a great fighter. He's considered the strongest. Now, Prince Vegeta, we all love Prince Vegeta because we all can relate to him. Now, my question to everybody who's listening, does Prince Vegeta like Frieza, who is a villain, who killed all his people and called his people monkeys? No, he don't. He even called Goku a dumbass for bringing him back. He said, you dumbass, you brought him back and he killed our whole goddamn race. Are you a fool? Ain't that what he said? Okay. And we supporting somebody that's calling everybody monkeys and buying their album. That sounds like some fool behavior to me. You got it.
Thank you. Let me get in here real quick because we gonna act like this. Why is you buying Louis? Why is you buying H&M? Why is you buying Gucci? Why is it a president in the office that do this? You want to tell me about fool behavior, but yet fool behavior been running this whole damn world and country. We ain't never gonna be on the same totem as a white person or anybody of that culture that feel like that because we've always been hated and we've always been treated as a certain thing until we get out of the mindset. Not I say our mindset, get out of their mindset, and generations of them pass and they start taking that stuff out of their generation pool of hate and discrimination. We ain't never gonna be the same. Only thing we can do for ourselves is what you want to say, uplifting. Yeah, we can uplift ourselves and make ourselves better in our own communities, but that's on us building communities. We don't have enough communities in our culture. That's why we ain't doing what we supposed to be doing. Ain't enough of us together in a community, building that community up, building a block and buying a block back, making it ours.
True.
That is the reason why we ain't got what we need.
I don't buy those things.
Yeah, me neither.
I don't support Donald Trump. I don't support Cardi B.
But Donald Trump was.
You gotta understand.
But Donald Trump
all
was
these
elected.
got sister companies. Everything you buying is a sister company of somebody.
But Donald Trump was elected by all people. So I'm saying I'm only speaking to and for the black people. I know why Donald Trump was elected. Now you talking about buying back the black and doing things. Like I'm gonna say again, things like this does not help us. When we have a black African American professional football player who's a part of the 2% or 1% of the US nation or the world playing in the National Football League, and then to be attached to something as negative and derogatory as this, because it is negative. This ain't positive. I want people to understand it. This is not positive. This is negative. To be attached to something like this, it don't make us go up and make us stay where the hell we at. We can talk about Travis Kelce and he talked about that. He talked about Taylor Swift. But guess what? They got together, and what did it do for their people? It pushed them even higher. They were already up, and it made them even higher. And it made them higher. You put these two together, does it make them higher? No, it don't, because it comes with a lot of backlash. It comes with a lot of a negative undertone. It comes with a lot of negative jargon. It comes with negative publicity. It comes with drama, and it keeps us exactly where the hell we at. So we can say divorce take a long time, this and that. Okay, be discreet about it, like Shy is saying. Protect the black people. Protect the black image. You talking about business and entrepreneurship? Hell, protect black business. If you cheat on your wife, cheat on your husband, that's not a good business practice anyway, because you're untrustworthy. Hell, you cheat on the person you sleep to and do business when y'all pay bills together. No, it's not pushing black people forward. So I just can't agree with it. I just can't agree with it. So then she calling people monkeys
from the beginning, though.
And she calling people monkeys. And y'all, and what's the name of her album? Because I know you know.
It's called "Am I the Drama?"
And she is. I'm glad that's the title. She is. Am I the Drama?
And don't call nobody a monkey no more, Cardi B. You listen to this podcast. If I catch you calling people monkey again, I'ma personally cuss you out.
I'm just trying to say why she calling people monkeys. That's out of pocket. Ain't she Hispanic anyway? Like Puerto Rican or something like that? Ever say something like that?
She's Dominican, but Dominicans have a lot of anti-blackness associated with their styles.
The origin come from black people.
Yeah, Dominicans are African. A lot of some of them are not all of them, but a good percentage of them are African descent. They're on they on the island next to African descent country as well, but a lot of them are racist. A lot of them
they need to go look at the 12 tribes of Judah, and so they can locate where they came from, because y'all came.
A lot of them are racist, and people. She one of them. And what make it worse is that you racist toward black women, but you like black men, and that's the worst kind right there. I remember a few years ago. Now we say about all this stuff. All said was cheating on her back then. The girl he was cheating with was working at a strip club. Cardi B hired couple grown men to go and whip them women down. Them women were in the hospital. 2 black women. You put 2 black women in a hospital behind the same man that you're divorcing right now. And them 2 black women, you had to settle outside the court with them. They got millions of dollars from. When does it stop? When does the drama stop?
That's crazy. All right, man. We didn't spend enough on this topic today, man. Zack, you got something you want to close and say?
No.
All right, guys. We thank you guys for listening to Gemstone Podcast. It was a great segment, a lot of information. Man, great conversation. Like a lot of passion behind it, a lot of education on all sides of this conversation. If you enjoyed this podcast, please make sure you remember to like, share, and subscribe to Gemstone Podcast. We're on all platforms. We're on YouTube, Pandora Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify Anchor. Also, if you want to send us mail or send us questions or just chop it up with us, you can always email us at gemstonepodcast@gmail.com. That's at gemstonepodcast@gmail.com. We appreciate you guys tuning in for our next segment. Peace.